So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this lecture on analysis of variance, which is called as ANOVA popularly under the module of Theories of Engineering Experimentations. I would suggest the listeners and readers of this particular video to go through the prerequisite video on hypothesis testing. So, let's go with today's lecture. So, the agenda of today's lecture is the understanding the basics of ANOVA, then what are the types of ANOVA, then as we know there are two ANOVAs, so we will learn about what is one-way ANOVA and two-way ANOVA along with the example. So going through the preamble, ANOVA is abbreviation of analysis of variance, which is used when multiple sample cases are involved. So in any of your study, in any of your research, if you are taking number of samples, I am not taking talking about number of readings, that is one sample. So if the sample size of your study is 165, let's say, so that is one sample. But for that 165, if you are taking 10 samples of 16 articles each, then it is called as the case of multiple sample. So in whatever study where the multiple sample cases are involved, ANOVA is applicable. So what ANOVA does, it finds out the difference in mean of two samples, and which we also can compare by Z test or T test. That is a different matter of discussion. We will record other video for that. So ANOVA enables the testing of multiple samples. Now what this Z test and T test is, that is altogether a different lecture, but they just compare two samples. So what Z test or T test can do, they can compare sample A and sample B. But what when the number of samples are more than 2? Then you cannot do it by Z test or T test. So at such time ANOVA will serve the purpose. So when multiple samples have been drawn from the populations having the same mean, we can use ANOVA to decide to decide statistically that whether they belong to a common population or not. So for example, if you have to conduct a comparing test with four recipes, or let's say you have to compare the mileage of four vehicles having four fuels, so this is the case of multiple samples. So at such cases you can use ANOVA. So in any of your study, if the variables are categorically more than two, let's say you are conducting a study for productivity of some worker, so are you changing the tools of the worker or are you changing the worker itself? So in this way you can have the comparative analysis by using ANOVA. Then again, it is the technique which is used to investigate any number of factors which are hypothesized or said to influence the dependent variable. So this is one of the beauty of this method, that it can investigate any number of factors. The number is not having any capping. So there is not like दो ही फैक्टर या तीन ही फैक्टर आप कंसिडर कर पाओगे, बट आपके कितने भी hypothesis हो, again if you go through the lecture of hypothesis, you have to convert your research into some simplified drafted formulated statements called as hypothesis statements. So it is nowadays it is very possible that a single research have n number of multiple hypothesis statements and n number of factors. So ANOVA is the technique which is blessing in such case. So one may as well investigate the difference among the various category within each of this factor, which may have large number of possible values. Now as I am saying, if you are taking two cases, as we said, you have to compare the mileage of the four cars having four different fuels. So in such case, you can also find what are the difference in that categories. So if one fuel is CNG, one is petrol, one is LPG, and fourth one is electric vehicle. So you can compare cost out of it. You can compare the differences in that sample basically by using ANOVA. Now, if we take only one factor and investigate the difference among its various categories, we are said to use one-way ANOVA. and if we investigate two factors at the same time, then we use two-way ANOVA. So these are the two branches of ANOVA. One is one-way ANOVA, where you take one factor at a time and you are investigating the differences of that factor in various categories. So if I am talking about energy, then what is the energy required by using plane saw? Then what is the energy required by the worker by using tenon saw? Then what is the energy required by the worker for using some other kind of saw? So what you are doing, you are investigating the differences in a single factor. So that will come under one way ANOVA. And if you are investigating in multiple factor, two factors basically, more than two is not possible. So if you are investigating two factors at a time, then you can say that you are using two-way ANOVA. We will see it further. So what is ANOVA? Again, we will go to the technical definition and technical, what we can say, the foundation concepts of ANOVA. So it is to test for differences among the means. Now what are means? Means are the averages. So what is saying that it is to test for differences among the means of population by examining the amount of variation within each of the sample relative to the amount of variation between the sample. Now listen this very carefully. If you are taking 4 samples in your study, then what is variation? Statistically, the variation is measured by dispersion, or we can say that standard deviation. So इसके पहले आपको कुछ statistical concepts का basic पता रहना चाहिए, that what is mean, what is mode, what is median, then what is variance, what is standard deviation, what is central tendency, what is measure of dispersion. So we can compare the differences among the means differences among the averages of the population. What is population? The target population from which you are drawing the sample out. So you are testing the differences in the means, that is differences in the averages, and by examining the amount of variation, that is standard deviation, you are examining the standard deviation of the sample. So what, there are two possibilities. If you have 4 samples and every sample has 10 articles in it, so total articles are 40. So the variation may lie within sample, that is you have 10 articles in that वन सैंपल, सो उसमें भी वेरिएशन रहेगा वो 10 आर्टिकल में, और सैंपल टू सैंपल वेरिएशन भी रहेगा बिकॉज देर आर 4 सैंपल. सो वी आर determining two things: variation within sample and variation between sample. So what is the variation within sample? It is within that sample. So if the sample size is 10, variation within that 10 pieces or 10 readings or 10 observation. And what is variation between the sample? So it is the variation, standard deviation between sample A and sample B. So the next point clears it all. If the variation is within sample, it is due to chance causes. Now why I am using the word chance causes? This terminology comes from quality engineering, that what are the chance causes and what are the assignable causes. We can simplify it as avoidable and unavoidable causes. सो वेरिएशन किसी भी चीज़ में कैसे आता है, आपकी किसी रीडिंग में या आपकी किसी डेटा में वेरिएशन क्यों आता है? ड्यू टू एरर. नाउ व्हाट कैन बी द कॉजेस ऑफ एरर? सो देयर आर अवॉइडेबल कॉजेस ऑफ एरर एंड अनअवॉइडेबल कॉजेस ऑफ एरर. What are avoidable causes? Human error. Now you can avoid it or not? The answer is yes. If you perform the experiment very well as per the standards, then you can perform the experiment without error. So this is called as avoidable errors, which is called as assignable or specific causes. So what is variation within sample? It is due to chance causes, unavoidable causes, जिसको हम रोक नहीं सकते, जैसे machine vibration. If some machine is moving, there will be vibration. We can reduce it, but we cannot eliminate it completely. So it is due to chance causes. But if the variation is between samples, so they are deviating from the grand mean. Now what is grand mean? It is a new term. So it is called as average of averages. It means, what is average? If you have 10 pieces in one sample, so वो 10 reading का sum divided by 10, that is your average. That is called as mean. And such 4 means will be of your 4 samples. And then ये चारों means का जो mean रहेगा, that is called as grand mean. So it is called as average of averages. So this variation which is between sample, It is due to specific causes, as I said, assignable causes, that is treatment effect. So the treatment you are providing during your research, now you know the word treatment. I need not comment and highlight it more in this particular lecture. What is treatment? You know that. So whatever the treatment you are applying to the variable, because of that the variation is visible between sample, not within sample. Within sample जो variation है, that is due to chance causes. Okay, let us proceed. So while using ANOVA, we assume that each of the sample is drawn from a normal population. Now, as we see, any concept is backed by some postulates, or we can say some assumptions. So here the assumption is every sample is drawn from a normal population. So my population is always normally distributed, and that each of this population has the same variance. Variance is basically a term which is the square of standard deviation. So these are some of the assumptions by the proposer of ANOVA. And it is assumed that the factors to be studied are under control. These are not uncontrollable factors like environmental temperature, air velocity. ऐसे factors नहीं है. It can be applied where the factors are under control. The factors which you are able to manipulate or control. Now proceeding further. So in short, we have to make two estimates of population variance, one based on between sample variance and other based on within sample variance, as I said it earlier. Then the said two estimates of the population variance are compared with F-test. So what is the steps of ANOVA? First, you have to find out the variance between sample and variance within sample. In other words, we can call it as calculating standard deviation between sample and standard deviation within sample. Now just to recollect, I am taking 1 minute. What is the formula for standard deviation? It is RMS deviation, which is root mean square deviation. But while calculation we take it reverse. So first we find out deviation, then RMS को हम reverse में लेते हैं. First we square the deviation, then we take the mean of the deviation, mean of the square of the deviation, and then we take the square root. So this value of f, which is calculated by this ratio, which is visible on the screen, you can see my laser pointer. So this particular ratio, so in denominator there is variance within sample, and in numerator there is variance between sample. So this ratio is called as f ratio, and this value of f we got from this ratio. This is our data, f of our data. We will compare it with f limit from a table. I will show that table later on. So that table having a standard reading of f, we compare these two values. So if the f value, that is calculated f value, is equal or exceeds the f limit value, we may say that there are significant difference between the sample means. So this is basically our alternative hypothesis. So ये f की value को हम जो टेबल की वैल्यू के साथ कंपेयर करेंगे, that will give us the basis to accept or reject any of my hypothesis statement. Now we'll see types of ANOVA as we already discussed. So there is one-way ANOVA when there is one independent variable at a time, and in two-way ANOVA there are two independent variables at a time. And here only one p value is obtained as there is one variable. Here three different p values are obtained, that we'll see later on. Now going through one-way ANOVA. First we will learn about the process of ANOVA, and then we will take one numerical example by which the clouds will be clear about all the doubts which you are having. So what is one-way ANOVA? We consider only one factor at a time and then observe the variation within and between the sample. So we are taking only one variable at a time. Keep this in mind. We are taking only one variable at a time. So for that variable, what is the step number 1? There are 8 steps in ANOVA. 8 procedural steps are there. We will go one by one. So what is step number 1? You obtain the mean of each samples when there are k samples. जैसे हमने कहा ANOVA is for multiple sample. So how many number of samples can be there? There can be k samples. So if there are k samples, हर एक sample का mean calculate करो. Okay, so step number one is calculate the mean of each sample. How you will calculate it? Number of observation in that sample divided by, sum of observations in that sample divided by number of observation in that sample. So if your sample having 10 articles or 10 readings or 10 observation, उन 10 readings का summation in the numerator and divided by 10. This is how you will get the mean of each sample. So you have to calculate means. Then what is step number two? You have to calculate grand mean. Okay. So grand mean, that is average of averages. So again means ka sabka sum divided by number of samples in your study. So that is called as x double bar. So x having two bars overhead. It is also called as grand mean. Now number three, take the deviations. So first we will take deviation, then we have to convert it into a variance. So symbolically and mathematically we have this obtained equation. First we will read about it, that is take the deviations of the sample mean from the mean of sample means. It means grand mean. So we will take the deviation. Now what is deviation? Every mean, how the every mean is far away from the sample mean. You can see my laser pointer. So this is the mean of sample 1, how much it is far away from grand mean. So this is called as deviation. So we have to calculate such deviation for every sample and multiply it by number of items in the corresponding sample. Now if your every sample is having same number of items, then you can take it common. Otherwise, if there are multiple samples and sample size is different, so that's why this is the formula, having every sample size associated with every deviation. So be it constant or be it variable, you have to follow this formula. So this is the formula for sum of squares of variance between samples. Now this is for between samples. So what is the variance? It between sample 1, sample 2 and sample k. In samples k आपस का variance. And the step number 4, which gives me, we have to divide the result of step number 3 by degrees of freedom. Now this is altogether different concept. Let me explain. So dividing the result of step number 3, that is sum of square of variance between samples, we have to divide it by degrees of freedom. Now what is degrees of freedom? It is just number of sample present in your study minus 1. This is the formula which you have to keep in mind. So degree of freedom is k minus 1. So if you have 6 samples in your study, degree of freedom will be 5. If you have 5 samples, degree of freedom will be 4 accordingly. So this is calculate mean of squares. What was that? Sum of squares. अब किसी भी sum को mean में कैसे convert करेंगे? Sum को divide कर देंगे number of articles से. So degree of freedom से divide करके we can find out mean of squares between sample. Then talking about within sample. So in step number 5, it is same as step number 3. Here we obtain the deviation of values from, correct, not from grand mean, because if we calculate the deviation from grand mean, the variation I will get will be between sample. Now I want the variation within sample. So what I will take? I will take the variation of every reading with the mean of that sample. So you can see the formula, xi x1i minus x1 bar plus, and this is summation term. So if there are 10 readings, so you have to take 10 deviation for that sample, then 10 deviations for second sample, uska sum, and in this way you will get the sum of squares of variance within sample. This we are talking within sample. Then divide the result of step number 5 again by degree of freedom, because here also we want mean of square within sample. So here the degree of freedom is n minus k, because now we are talking about 40 items. Let's say if I have 4 samples and the sample size is 10. So here the degree of freedom will not be k minus 1, it will be n minus k. So what are the total number of items in all samples? It is 40. So 40 minus number of samples, that is k. So here you keep in mind the degree of freedom is not k minus 1, it is n minus k. Now 7th step, for a check, this is just for a check, what is sum of square for total variance? So this you can do in two form. You can have the formula like this, where you can take summation of every reading with grand mean and take the whole square. In this way you can get sum of square of total variance. Otherwise, if you have calculated it during step number 3 and step number 5, you can simply add it, so you will get sum for total variance. So you need not remembering or understanding this formula, just you add your SS between, that is sum of squares of variance between sample, plus SS within, which precisely means the output of your step number 3 and step number 5. Similarly, degrees of freedom can also be added. So just to check the additive property of ANOVA, on LHS there is n minus 1, and on RHS there is k minus 1 plus n minus k. So LHS RHS becomes equal. So this is just the seventh step, is just for a check. Now what is eighth step? As we already discussed it, we have to find the F ratio. So in F ratio, there will be mean of square between in the numerator and within in the denominator. We will find the F ratio. We will compare the value with the table value of F, and the difference is taken as insignificant due to chance or null hypothesis of no difference between the sample mean stands. It means that if my value, वहाँ पे हमने देखा था, if my calculated value is equal to and greater than my table value, then it is called as significant statement, or we can say that my alternative hypothesis will be accepted. But if the value is less as compared to here, it will say that due to chance and null hypothesis, means your null hypothesis statement will be valid if your calculated value is less than table value. Now this is the standard structure of one-way ANOVA table, which will be more clear. The steps we already discussed is tabulated here in one table. Okay, so this is the comprehensive, or what we can say, consolidated table for one-way ANOVA. This table will be more clear when we will see the example of one-way ANOVA. So what is the example? Again, this is the example which is adapted from a standard book, so that you can go through the example later on also. So it is set up an analysis of variance table, that is ANOVA table, for the following per acre production data for 3 varieties of wheat, each grown on 4 plots. State if the variety differences are significant. So what is there? There are 4 plots, so there are 4 samples. But what is the variable? There is only single variable, only the variety of wheat is we are varying. Okay, we are also varying the plot, but it is called as readings, right? So if there are 4 plots, so there are 4 samples. But what is the variable here? It is only the variety of wheat. So as there is only one variable, which ANOVA will be applicable? You can see the title, one way ANOVA will be applicable. Now proceeding. As per the steps, we will see how this particular numerical is solved. So there are 3 varieties of wheat and there are 4 samples. So there are in all 12 readings. But if we go by sample, so there are 3 samples, each having the sample size of 4. So as per the steps, what was our first step? Calculate the mean of every sample. So how many samples are there? There are 4 samples. Okay, or there are 3 samples. Here we are taking it as a variety of wheat. So sample A, sample B, sample C, and the number of readings in every sample is 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the mean of sample A? So it is addition of all reading of sample A divided by number of articles in sample A. So we find out 6 plus 7 plus 3 plus 8 divided by 4. Similarly, what is the mean of sample B? It is 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 7 divided by 4. Similarly, for sample C, it is 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 divided by 4. So in this way, we got the sample means. There are 3 samples, each having the sample size of 4. So we have calculated sample means. Now we will find mean of mean, that is grand mean, average of averages. So these are the averages. Inka average. So it is 6 plus 5 plus 4 divided by how many samples? What is K? K here is 3. So this is my grand mean, which is 5. Now proceeding further, we will calculate SS between and SS within. So SS between का formula आपको पता है, every sample size and take the deviation, square of deviation with grand mean, as we are taking SS between. So हर sample का mean its distance from grand mean. You will get such equation, and what is your SS between? It is coming out to be 8 by simplifying this equation. Then what is SS within? So we have to take the summation of reading. You can see the curly brackets here. So there are 3 curly brackets. It means that there are 3 samples. And in every curly bracket, there are number of readings. So we are taking the individual reading and its deviation from the mean of that sample. So in this way, the SS within will be calculated as 24. So my what is sum of square of variance between sample? It is 8. Within sample it is 24. Then we are calculating total variance. Again we can calculate it by formula. Otherwise we know that it was SS between plus SS within. So both the answers comes out to be 32. So no need to repeat this step because it is algebraically and in terms of calculation it is very huge. So you can just take SS between plus SS within, that is 8 plus 24. Again you will reach out to the same answer, that is 32. Now this is the ANOVA table as we discussed. So in the ANOVA table, first is source of variation, one is between sample, within sample. What is sum of square of variation? It is 8 and 24. What is DF? I said it. For between sample it will be k minus 1. What is my k? 3 samples है मेरे, तो k will be 3 minus 1, k minus 1, the degree of freedom will be 2. And in case of within sample it is n minus k. So what is my n? 12 readings. And what are my number of sample? 3 samples. So n minus k will become 9. Then we find out mean of square, just SS divided by degree of freedom. See how logically this table is derived. So first you get this value, then you get this value, then this divided by this is your mean of square. And mean of square का आपस में रेशियो जब लोगे between upon within, you will get f. Now the thing is how to compare the reading from table, because that is yet to be discussed, right? So you will get this f ratio by your data, but what is the standard f which is required for comparison? So this comparison is on the basis of degrees of freedom. See, your degree of freedom is 2, 9. So you have the f table for degrees of freedom 2, 9. You getting the reading of 4.26 from the table. Okay, and this 4.26 is now your standard f. And what is your calculated f? 1.5. So as this f is less than the standard f, you can say that here you can conclude that the difference in wheat output due to variety is insignificant and it is just a matter of chance. In other words, we can say that your null hypothesis statement is accepted. There is no purpose of conducting the research. This is only due to matter of चांस. अगर यही वैल्यू f की ग्रेटर या इसके इक्वल होती, then we can say that due to wheat variety the wheat output is significantly getting varied. Okay, so I hope one way ANOVA is clear to you. Now we are heading towards two way ANOVA. What is two way ANOVA? अभी यहाँ पे only the wheat variety was the variable, so one variable at a time. But now here we will have two variables at a time. So two-way ANOVA is used when the data are classified on the basis of two factors. We will see. So for example, a business firm may have its sales data classified on the basis of different salesmen also. So you are wearing a salesman, Ramesh, Suresh, whatever, and you are also wearing the sales region. So east, west, north, south you are taking, or you are taking Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Uttar Pradesh. So two factors you are taking at a time, and due to which this problem cannot be solved by one way ANOVA, or you will have to solve it separately by taking single factor, and you have to perform one way ANOVA two times. So to avoid this, we have this technique called as two way ANOVA. So in two way ANOVA, to calculate this residual or error variation, now अब देखो दो फैक्टर है तो उनका आपस में भी वेरिएशन रहेगा. अभी तक तो हम सैंपल के आपस की वेरिएशन और सैंपल के अंदर का वेरिएशन देख रहे हैं। अब हमारे पास फैक्टर्स भी दो है, सो देयर विल बी सम वेरिएशन between that samples or between that factors also. So here the calculation will be quite complex, but still we can understand it by keeping our mind calm and keeping our mind penetrative for the concepts. So what is there? We calculate the sum of square of total variance, and for variance between the varieties of one treatment, as also the varieties between the variance between the varieties of other treatment. So in this particular two-way ANOVA, as there are two factors, the complexity of calculation is quite more, but we will, I hope and we hope that we will understand it well. So here some other terminology is used which you can also use for one-way ANOVA, but I intentionally not use this terminology in one-way ANOVA because that particular method is quite simple to understand. So what is step number one in two-way ANOVA? First you take the total of all the values in all the samples. So if you have 10 samples and 2 factors and 3 varieties, whatever are there, जितने भी आपके डेटा के टोटल रीडिंग है उसको आप प्लस कर लो, समेशन ऑफ ऑल द वैल्यूज, एंड कॉल इट एज कैपिटल टी. So again this will be very cleared from the numerical, and we will be back to this slide if you are unable to understand it. So take total of all the values in the table, that is capital T. Then one correction factor is there because we have to take the residual. So residual मतलब difference, subtraction. So residual कभी भी किस चीज़ का लिया जाता है? A value with its standard value called as residual. Okay, so what is your residual? If you got 90% in exam, what is the ideal percentage? 100%. So your residual is 10%. So just to calculate this residual, we find out the correction factor. What is correction factor? It is the square of t, that is t square upon n. What is n? Total number of items. Now step number 3 is to find out square of all item values, take its total and subtract the correction factor which is called as residual. So square of all the values, यहाँ पे जो t है that is sum of all the values, and this is sum of square of all the values. So sum of square of all the values कैसे लेंगे? जितनी भी आपकी values है उन सबका square, उसको सबको plus करना है. t में आपने क्या किया था? उन सारी values को plus किया था. So as there are 40 readings, the sum of that 40 readings. Now this is sum of square of that 40 readings. Okay, and we are subtracting it by correction factor. So this is my step number 3. Now step number 4, that is assess between columns. So take the total of different columns and then obtain the square of each column total and divide such squared values of each column by number of items in concerning column. सुनने में काफ़ी कॉम्प्लेक्स है, समझने में काफ़ी इजी है. टोटल ऑफ डिफरेंट कॉलम्स. कॉलम्स मतलब अब यहाँ पे दो फैक्टर है तो मैट्रिक्स बनेगा. वहाँ क्या हो रहा था? वहाँ पे एक ही फैक्टर था तो तीन सैंपल थे, तीनों सैंपल अलग अलग थे. ठीक है, वीट के तीन सैंपल थे, सैंपल ए बी सी, ओनली दैट फैक्टर वॉज वेरिंग. हियर देयर आर टू फैक्टर्स, तो क्या होगा? रोज रहेंगे और कॉलम रहेंगे. तो एक वेरिएशन मेरे को रोज में मिलेगा, एक वेरिएशन कॉलम में मिलेगा. सो दिस इज एसेस बिटवीन कॉलम्स. तो क्या लेना है? टोटल ऑफ डिफरेंट कॉलम्स. सो इफ आई हैव 4 कॉलम्स, 4 की कॉलम टोटल आएगी, and divide that squared values of each column by number of item in that column. This will be very cleared from the example which we will take. So don't worry about it if at a stance you are not able to gather it. So finally subtract the correction factor from this total. तो ये जो भी calculate करोगे हर एक इसमें से आपको correction factor that is t square upon n को minus करना है. So you will take this, you can read it out, it is very descriptive, but when you will solve it, it will be very easy. Then column की बात हो गई, same we talk about rows. So take the total of different rows and then obtain the square of each row total and divide such squared value which the number of items in that particular row and take the total of the result thus obtained, and this total से again हम correction factor को minus करेंगे, we will get SS between rows. Okay, then here there is a new term, वहाँ पे था total SS. Now here there is a term called as sum of square of deviation for residual. So residual कैसा निकालेंगे, total SS minus इन दोनों का sum. So total SS minus SS between columns plus SS between rows. Just listen it now. Once the numerical or example is in front of you, everything will be clear. So have a patience for few more slides. Then degree of freedom is altogether a new game here. It is not so simple like k minus 1 and n minus k, because here are two factors at a time. So यहाँ पे rows की भी बात होगी, columns की भी बात होगी, residual की भी बात होगी. तो क्या होगा, पहले degree of freedom for total variance. So it is c into r minus 1. So c and r stands for column and row. So what is total variance? C into r minus 1. Then what is the variance of column? C minus 1. What is variance of rows? R minus 1. What is variance of residual? C minus 1 into R minus 1. So these are some of the formulas which you may mug up, or you can understand it just as 1 minus particular degrees of freedom is calculated by 1 minus the variability in that particular article. So if we are talking about columns, तो column कितने हैं उसका -1. So if there are 4 columns, so degree of freedom for column is 3. If there are 5 rows, degree of freedom for rows are 4. 5 minus 1. So all these steps which seems to be very complex, it will be understand or understood very well by this example. So again this is the standard table for two-way ANOVA. So two-way ANOVA में यहाँ पे कितनी 3 एंट्री आती है, between columns, between rows and residual. यहाँ पे हम within की बात नहीं करते, because within होगा ही क्यों, because there are two factors varying at a time. So it will be cleared by what you can say example of two-way ANOVA. Now see, again talking about per acre production, but here there are variety of seed also and variety of fertilizers also. So now we are not talking about sample size. You can see here कहीं पे भी sample size का role आया, other than this, other than correction factor, there is no role of sample size, because there are no number of readings. In fact there are 3 varieties of seed, that is 3 varieties of wheat and 4 varieties of fertilizers. So at a time you are taking 2 factors into consideration, and that is the reason why we are going for two-way ANOVA. This is not possible in one-way ANOVA. There you have to take one-way ANOVA first for variety of seeds and second for variety of fertilizers. Okay, so proceeding. Step number 1, as I said, you take sum of all the values from this table. कितनी values है, 3 into 4, 12 readings are there. पूरे के पूरे 12 का sum ले लो और divide कर दो 12 से. So t square upon n is पूरे के पूरे का sum है 60. So t square 60 into 60 divided by 12. This is your correction factor. Correction factor का क्या role है, हर बार हमको उसको minus करते जाना है. Again what is total SS? अब जैसे यहाँ पे हमने हर रीडिंग का प्लस लिया था t में, यहाँ हर रीडिंग के स्क्वायर का प्लस लेना है. यू कैन सी इट वेरी क्लियर. 36 प्लस 25 प्लस 25, इट मीन्स 6 का स्क्वायर प्लस 5 का स्क्वायर प्लस 5 का स्क्वायर, then 7 का स्क्वायर प्लस 5 का स्क्वायर प्लस 4 का स्क्वायर. In this pattern you have to take the sum of all squares and minus correction factor. Correction factor is 300 every time, so it becomes 332 minus 300, 32. Again between columns we have again the formula. What was that formula? Square of the reading in now SS between columns, we are talking about columns. So what are the columns? How many columns are there? Columns are 3. तो हर एक कॉलम के रीडिंग का स्क्वायर, यू कैन सी हियर, स्क्वायर ऑफ रीडिंग इन एवरी कॉलम क्या है, इसका सम क्या है. दिस कॉलम सम इज 7 plus 6, that is 13 plus 3. 16 plus 8 24. So 24 का square. What is column total? It is 24. First you can calculate column total. This is 24. What is this? 5 plus 5 10 plus 3 13 plus 7 20. This column total is 20. First was 24, second column total is 20. Third column total is 4 plus 4 8 plus 3 11 plus 5 16. So it is 24 20 16. These are column total. So column total का square divided by number of articles in that column. तो column में कितने reading है 4. So 24 square by 4, 20 square by 4 and 16 square by 4. In this way you will get SS between columns, and again you have to subtract it by correction factor. So it is 144 plus 100 plus 64 minus 300. Between columns comes out to be 8. Now talking about rows, how many rows are there? There are 4 rows. What are the row totals? So first row total is 16, second is again is 16, third is 9 and fourth is 19. So square of every row total divided by number of articles in that row. How many articles? 3. So row total का square divided by 3. Okay, in this way. Minus correction factor. So you will get SS between rows as 18. Column के बीच का SS था 8. Sum of square and sum of square of variance between rows are 18. What is residual? Total SS, which we calculate here 32. Minus 8 plus 18. So total residual SS comes out to be 6. अब क्या बचा? जब 5 स्टेप हो गए, डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम बचा. डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम काफ़ी सिंपल है. कॉलम की बात करेंगे तो कॉलम -1, तो कॉलम थे 3, तो डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम इज 2. रो की बात करेंगे तो रो थे 4, तो डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम इज रो -1 3, एंड रेसिड्यूअल इज C-1 R-1. So 2 into 3, that is 6. Similarly, by dividing SS with degree of freedom, we will get mean of square. Then by dividing mean of square with what? Dividing mean of square with what? Here it will be divided by 1. Okay. So in two-way ANOVA, as there are no within samples, so it will be divided by 1. So divided by nothing, we cannot do it divided by 0 because it will become 0. So here your F ratio and mean of square will be a common thing. And again we will find the F limit for 5%. ये 5% का discussion रह गया. What is this 5%? As I already discussed in hypothesis lecture, this is called as this is called as significance level, which is called as the confidence by which. So if you are taking 95% confidence, you can have the level of significance as 5%. So you have to take the F limit from the table for degree of freedom 2,6. अब यहाँ पे degree of freedom भी change होगा. Because why 2,6? Why 2,6? Because here we will take the degree of freedom of columns, which will be 2. And here you will take the degree of freedom of rows. 6 is your total residual degree of freedom. So here it will be 2,6. Here there will be a different value, and here there will be a different value. वहाँ पे क्या था? आपका एक ही F वैल्यू आता था. यहाँ आपके 2 F वैल्यू आते हैं. So ये चीज़ आप ध्यान में रखेंगे. So this is the example of two-way ANOVA. Now all these bunch of calculations which are intentionally made it done by you students are just to make you aware that how these values are calculated, all these formulas and all. But if you are doing research in practice, there is no need to do these calculations manually. We have softwares available. But as I said, software is a boon and a curse. Why it is a boon? It saves our time. It gives us accuracy. It gives us standardization. Why it is a curse? It takes us away from the understanding. So that's why solving the numerical of ANOVA manually is much more important first. Then once you understand the concept of ANOVA, how it is calculated, what is SS, what is SS between, what is SS within, what is SS between column, between rows, then how we calculate MS from SS, what is degree of freedom, ये सब जब तक समझेगा नहीं, so सॉफ्टवेयर क्या करता है, वो आपको रिपोर्ट जनरेट करके देता है, but to understand that report you should know the concepts very well. That's why we have taken the solved example. You can solve it again. You can take some examples from book also and solve it manually first, and then just to check your manual calculation you can use the softwares like MS Excel is there, SPSS is there, Minitab, R. So these are the software which will give you direct ANOVA table. ये table आपको direct मिल जाएगा, because in such software they have developed a module, or we can say a short running software package inside that particular software. If we talk about Excel, they have created a package of ANOVA, so you have to just put your data and you will directly get the one way or two way ANOVA table as output. But then how will you understand the output? So for that reason you have to solve this numerical manually to understand each and every value, and then you can go for software freely and what I can say with complete understanding. So here I would like to conclude my lecture. Any queries if you have, you can post it, and if you like the lecture you can comment it, like it, share it, and you can subscribe the channel for further lecture series under this module and some other interdisciplinary modules also. So thank you very much. Have a nice day ahead.